When they gave me the keys, because you get a key to your own apartment, when they gave me the keys to my apartment, it felt like the keys to the kingdom. My main concern was how many people did we help this week? How many people got in house? And, that's what I care about mostly. I'm a little grateful for some of the things that I've been through because it has made me stronger. And I'm the type of person that I've never been ashamed of my story.
And you shouldn't be.
Girl, let me tell you.
What would happen if we built a system that addresses poverty, homelessness, and inequality with relationships at the center? It may not be as far-fetched as it sounds. Welcome back to the Six Pack. I'm your host, Stacy Houston, Executive Director here at SixDegrees.org. And today I'm joined by Betty Fain, a respected member of the Board of Directors and Executive Committee at the Dumas Wesley Community Center based in Mobile, Alabama. Betty, we are so happy to have you on the Six Pack today.
Well, I'm happy to be here today, Stacy.
Thanks for joining us. Just to kick us off, let's just jump right in. I would love for you to talk a little bit about Dumas Wesley and how do you really bring your mission to life there?
Okay, well, Dumas Wesley is, of course, a community center that has 12 different actual programs that they do have there. Um, the one that is my most beloved is Sybil Smith Family Village. It's a shelter for women and women with children. They could stay there for up to 2 years. They have case managers and people come in and do life skill classes. I used to come in and do life skill classes. Um, the apartments are fully furnished and everything. So when you move in, all you need is your clothes, and if you got a TV and be ready to go to work because that's what it's all about. I bring my mission because I lived there for 18 months and I consider that my beloved. That's how I always address it, as my beloved. When they gave me the keys, because you get a key to your own apartment, when they gave me the keys to my apartment, it felt like the keys to the kingdom, to have my own personal space. Um, and now what I do, because this has been like 16 years ago since I
Wow.
lived there.
Wow.
But I be there every Friday. I don't be at work. I be there because I like to talk to the new ladies that come in. I like to talk to the ones that's there. I like to see what's going on with them. Um, I give that hard love, that tough love. I don't play with them. I try to encourage them in a good, positive way. And so that's how I bring my mission to the place.
It's fantastic. It sounds to me, Betty, that there was a real sense of community when you were there and that became a part of
Girl, look at
you.
here. When I was there, I was trying to go to because I'm a welder, so I was trying to go to welding school. And look, so I was going to school 5 days a week and I was working at Subway one day out the week. Girl, look, some of the ladies used to buy me a bag of leg quarters, a big family pack of neck bones. Look, I used to tell people I lived off of $34 a week. That was because of the community there. When I started working, I didn't have a ride. Some of the ladies would give me a ride to work, take me to work and stuff. It was a very, very strong sense of community there.
It's really powerful. At 6 Degrees, we care about connection in all things that we do. And I can tell you that that'll really resonate with our listeners and our supporters because uh, we try to look at how every day we can show up for another person. And it might seem small to offer
Mhm,
someone a ride. It's
mhm.
actually quite a big deal. You know,
Girl, look, how about buying somebody a family pack of leg quarters? You know how
yeah.
long you can eat off of leg quarters? Okay,
Mhm.
a big family pack. And because like I said, I was only living off of $34 a week.
Yeah. It's incredibly powerful. Thank you for sharing, Betty. Um, what's the most rewarding part of your work on the board of directors?
Girl, let me tell you. To me, a lot of the people that's on the board, they have, college degrees and stuff like that. Here I am, you know, not even with a GED, but being on the board, I never could never really get into like the financial. I'm finally after a couple of years just starting to understand the financial part. But my main concern is how many people did we help this week? How many people got in house? And that's what I care about mostly. And then, as of recently, I cared about the way my beloved shelter was looking. It needed a lot of work done to the apartments and stuff. And as now being a first time homeowner, I get to see dog, it's a lot of work being a homeowner. So you got to keep stuff up. And so as I'm learning that, I'm seeing, hey, this need some attention. That it's not looking like it did when I was here, and stuff. And so we just successfully um because of my input, we just successfully did a lot of renovation. We got like $100,000 from the organization. We did a lot of renovations, and
That's exciting. I mean, it sounds like one of the things that you're hitting on is the importance of lived experience. And I think that every board of directors needs folks that have lived experience with whatever their work is in, because you see things and you understand it in a different way. And this is to your point, right? If someone maybe has never lived in a shelter, right? They may come across and say, everything looks great. Four walls, a door, bathroom, a kitchen, right? They should be happy. But you came in and you said, well, when I came in, this place felt like a warm hug, right?
right,
The paint was nice. There wasn't
yes,
mildew here or whatever it is. It's like,
yes,
we want to make
yes,
sure that we have freshened this place so that when they're facing
exactly,
their hardest moment, they
exactly.
feel the love that they're walking into.
Exactly. And I want every new resident that come in there, I want them to feel that and to see that too, okay? Because I'm telling you, when she gave me the keys, like I said, it felt like the keys to the kingdom, And so I'm very I I love that place so much. And I just told you it's been like 16 years since I lived there, 16, 17 years since I lived there. I'm practically there every Friday.
Wow. That's commitment
Because I love it.
because you love it. All right. Well, then I have another question for you. If you could change one perception, one thing that people often think about this organization, right? That, might not be correct or they might be thinking about the wrong way. What would that be?
Okay, like Dumas Wesley. Okay, Dumas Wesley, is the tree, and Sybil Smith, the shelter, is I say a branch. Okay, that's how I kind of describe it. And if I say if when I'm talking to people, sometimes I say, do you know say for instance, I'll say Dumas Wesley is having they have a food pantry, or Dumas Wesley have a clothing where they do clothing and stuff, and then they'll say and then I say, and then they had the shelter across the street because the shelter is directly across the street, and people be like, "It's a shelter across the street," and I say, "Yeah, it's a shelter over there," and I'll say, it's for women and women with children, blah blah blah, and they don't know it's over there. That is a shelter. They just don't know how many different programs this place have. I don't know. Am I answering
Yes,
in it?
you are. You are.
Oh, okay, so
That's a perfect way to answer the question. It
okay,
sounds like,
because
yeah.
I was in the shelter. Why my life even turned out like this is because I was on drugs. Okay, and I feel like that was something my fault. It was my fault that I was on drugs. But I also look at now, since all that's behind me, I know a lot of that had to do with how I was raised, what I went through when I was younger and stuff. And and I've been in so many treatment places, it's not even funny. But I've also been in treatments with people that their parents was doctors and lawyers and stuff, and I was like, how could they have their life like that when they came from this? But we all everybody got a story. Everybody, and I've learned that everybody got a story. And so I'm a little grateful for some of the things that I've been through because it has made me stronger. And I'm the type of person that I've never been ashamed of my story.
And you shouldn't be.
And some people say I'm brutally honest. Look at me now. I done been on a job for 15 years. So it's like so amazing to me. And that's what I be trying to push. And that's part of my mission that I bring to the village when I be talking to these ladies to you know I just want them to get it. I just want them to get it.
Your passion is clear, Betty, and it's clear why you do this
Oh,
work.
you think so?
I think so. It's very clear. And I would like to say, I'm glad that you extend some compassion for yourself because we do all have a story. We all have trauma. We all have something that brought us to the choices we made.
Mhm.
And you were able to get support for it and find a place like your organization that helped you through it.
Mhm.
And you can see why it's helping so many more.
Mhm.
And that's why we want to have this program today. And that's why we want to share about the work of organizations like Dumas Wesley, because people need to know that even if they've tried countless other things and tried other programs, maybe they haven't found the one that's the right fit because they haven't found the
Exactly.
one that gives them the right sense of belonging, that makes them feel
Mm.
safe, that makes them feel seen. Um, and I want people to feel encouraged that if they're listening today and they might be thinking, I'm out of chances, that they're not.
No, no. And I don't, with me, I done been to jail so many times, but I never went to prison. The Lord had other plans for me. I never went to prison. Like I said, I've been in so many treatment facilities before also. But it is like they say, until you get sick and tired, things are not gonna change. Um,
Well, let me just ask this final question. How can people support the work that you all do? How can they either support financially or get involved?
they can, of course, financially they can support, and we're always looking for volunteers. Like I was saying that I was doing a life class, and it was called Real Talk with Betty. You know, we need people to come in and share. um um no matter what it is that you're good at. See, I'm good at trying to get them trying to get
Motivated.
them ready and
Yeah.
motivated
Yeah.
and stuff, and so I just like to say this too. Can I add something? We have because of the work that we do, we also have another shelter in Baldwin County that they opened up, um, modeled after how we are, 2 years, and stuff. And I just wish that it was more places like that, because 2 years. Really, 2 years is enough. 2 years is enough time. I be telling them, look, I did it in 18 months, so 2 years is enough. I just wish it was more places like that, to help.
Can I ask a clarifying question? Is it that sometimes it's shorter than 2 years? Is it some or similar places, they don't give enough time typically? Is there something about Dumas that makes it 2 years is kind of the right amount?
I you know what? To be perfectly honest with that question, I'm not really sure, but my own personal experience, um, I was at a place kind of like this, but not as wonderful as this. It's nothing gonna be wonderful as this, but it wasn't 2 years, and it wasn't with all of the help that you need. Girl, look, for instance, when I got into school for welding, um everything that I needed, they made sure I had it to be successful. You know what I'm saying? As far as my work boots, my welding seal, and stuff like that. Um, it was days that I came in from school that I was crying, um, because it was really hard and stuff. So just having that love and support, it was just a lot.
Thank you, Betty. I think that there's a reason that you guys only have a 2% recidivism rate. And for those of you that are listening, so you know that means over their past 25 years that this organization's been around, those that graduate and exit the program, only 2% ever return homeless again. And that is an extremely powerful testament to the work that is being done in Alabama there. So I just want to thank you so much for your time today, Betty, and all that you've shared and how honest and you gave us real talk, and we appreciate that so much. And we'll be thinking of you and your organization. We will make sure that people have the website and they can learn more in our tags and our description down below. Um, but thank you again.
Thank you so much, Stacy. Thank you for having us.